Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. In this space, we dedicate ourselves to exploring spiritual topics, sharing knowledge, and experiences that help us in our personal and spiritual growth. Today, we have something very special prepared for you. The title of our video is, Finally, You Are Awakening, The Time Has Come. We will dive into a deep meditation and channeling session where we will receive messages and guidance from the spiritual world. This session promises to be a transformative experience filled with peace, clarity, and divine wisdom. We want you to feel comfortable and open to receiving this energy. Remember, every message we share here is for the greater good of all and is filled with love and light. It is an honor for us to be a bridge between the spiritual realms and you. Finally, I'd like to share with you that this channeling is a message directly from Archangel Azrael. Azrael, known as the Angel of Transition and Transformation, is here to guide us and support us on our spiritual journey. With his presence, we feel protected and filled with hope. So, relax, open your hearts, and allow Azrael's wisdom to envelop you. Enjoy this wonderful experience. For a long time, too long, humanity has been mired in a certain darkness, surrounded by doubts and worries, by fears they couldn't overcome, because they were deceived. They were made to believe that the answers were in the wrong place. However, amid all that uncertainty, a bright light has begun to shine, the light of awakening. The awakening of humanity is allowing humans to see beyond their fears and limitations, to recognize that there is something extraordinary in every soul. And that's why you are receiving this message, because there is something extraordinary inside you, my beloved. Humanity as a whole is awakening, and thanks to those people who, like you, feel the divine flame within, they allow themselves to connect with that force and that light that lives within them. You are awakening because you are returning to the right path, even after having doubted everything, having doubted yourself. You will no longer ignore it. You have the opportunity to make a positive difference in your life, in the lives of others, and in the entire universe, my beloved. That opportunity is not just something fleeting, but a call from your soul to that higher purpose. In awakening, that light within you is what allows you to see beyond the shadows, beyond the superficial. I want you to know that as humanity awakens, you have to make a decision. You must choose what role you want to play in this great awakening. You will have to choose whether to connect with the light or with the darkness. You will connect with the light when you continue to rise, when you connect with your spiritual side. On the other hand, you will connect with the darkness when you use your energy to attract negative things. You have to understand that your role is very important, that every great collective awakening begins with the individual, with your awakening, my beloved. You must understand that souls have been called to a divine purpose in order to rebalance the universe, to fill every corner of life with love and hope. Humanity is awakening, and it is not a mere whim of fate or a coincidence. Humanity is awakening because it was necessary, because too much time has passed immersed in the darkness of ignorance, because humanity has been lost for centuries in the endless quest for power, in discord and confrontation. And so, little by little, they forgot their connection with themselves, with the world around them, and with the universe itself, with the divine. My beloved, humanity remains stuck in old beliefs, in structures that no longer serve and need a change to rebalance. Too many warning signs from the universe have been ignored. That is why many souls are awakening abruptly, because light calls to light. During all this time, the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has been whispering to each and every soul, calling for the awakening from this lethargy. But not all were willing to listen. The awakening of humanity is a response to this call from the universe, from God, my beloved, because many have realized that they cannot continue living in chaos, that something must change. Humanity is awakening to finally understand that their actions have consequences, that everything is connected, that all creatures in the universe are one, that what you do to others you do to yourself, that what you wish for others you wish for yourself, that what you give will be returned to you in greater measure. So, knowing this, why do some souls still insist on delivering evil? Why do they inflict pain and suffering on others? The answer is very simple, my beloved. They do it because they believe they have that right. They believe they are above good and evil. They believe their actions have no consequences, that their bad behaviors are like a little dust they can hide under a piece of furniture. But it is not so, and you know it is not so. That evil and suffering they inflict have consequences, not only for others, but also for themselves. These people forget that everything is connected, that they may see some material stability, but if they have connected with darkness, they will face severe consequences on a spiritual level. And that pain will be much greater than the same pain they cause to others. But this does not mean that no one makes mistakes. All humans make them. It is part of their path. But it is also part of the path to awakening to recognize mistakes. If mistakes are not recognized, karma is not restored. My beloved, the hand of divine justice will act to restore balance when those souls do not recognize their own mistakes and restore the damage they caused. Although your physical body will live in this world for a limited time, you must know that your consciousness has a much longer existence. Your consciousness has existed for thousands of years, long before your current body was born. Because all that you know could not have been learned in such a short time. Consciousness is a quality of the spirit and an essential part of it. Awakening your consciousness means approaching the purest reality, the essence of all that exists, and the creative source of the infinite. The universe is so vast and so great that it cannot be measured, no matter how much humans try to give it limits and measures. They can only distinguish between what they know and what they do not know. However, few human beings have realized that the greatest wisdom is in recognizing their own ignorance. Knowing that the universe and existence are immeasurable is very profound knowledge. Despite this, egos always try to prove that everything can be understood with human reason, try to encompass everything. The physical tools they have to achieve knowledge are insufficient to understand eternal reality and universal truth, my beloved. Therefore, trying to use human measures and knowledge to understand something that spans many other planes is like trying to count the water of the oceans in drops. Awakening your consciousness does not necessarily mean going against the established order. It is a path in which you must consider that there are many other realities you do not know, other times that are not in books, and other beings that have never been in contact with humans, other intelligences. My beloved, however, the awakening of your consciousness will lead you to understand that all you know and what you do not know is perfectly ordered in the universe and flows with a purpose, which is the divine plan. The awakening of consciousness is a spiritual state in which you realize that the knowledge you sought so much is not outside of you, but within you. While your physical body is ephemeral and has a limited time, your consciousness is eternal, timeless, and infinite, because its light will never go out. There will come a time when you will attain full knowledge, and the destiny of your soul will be eternal happiness, infinite well-being, and unconditional love. Perhaps you have felt that you did not fit in this world, and that you needed answers for which you found no information, and for which your soul was not prepared. This is not a negative thing, on the contrary. These are signs of the awakening of consciousness. Now you are aware that the universe will return to you what you give, no matter what it is. Your spiritual development has made you see that everything you do, say, and think will have an echo in the universe and will return to you multiplied. Perhaps you do not realize how many evils this knowledge has avoided, but believe me, there are many. Your level of development has allowed you to go much further than you thought possible. You have worked so hard that now you are at the gates of a new cycle for all humanity, a cycle in front of which will be the awakened souls to guide, to illuminate, to connect with the divine. My beloved, do not fear the awakening of your consciousness, as it will bring you many blessings. Remember that the awakening of consciousness can happen in both older people and very young children. Right now, You do not know how many years the soul that inhabits a physical body has lived. So each individual has their own time, and just as they are perfect. You will not be alone during this process. All beings of light accompany you in this awakening, as this is the mission that God has entrusted to us, and in that task we find our happiness. I love you.